Welcome to We'll Sleep When We're Dead. We are so excited because this week, after months of talking about it, we have our very first guest. Cue the music, cue the confetti, cue whatever else you throw when you're really excited. I don't know what it is. Sam's very kind friend, Dr. Sarah Pollock, is going to be joining us to answer a bunch of questions, have a lot of giggles per the usual, and we're really excited for you guys to listen.
Hello.
Hello.
We have our very first guest, which we're so excited about.
So
You
excited.
guys are so fun. We've talked about
We've been
this
dying
for
for
so
a
long.
guest. We've been talking about having a guest, Sarah, since this whole thing started, as if we
So
were ever
fun.
actually going to launch this. And here we are. And you
We're
were
doing
like,
it. Yeah.
number
You guys
one.
are doing it. Oh, I love
So
that. Well, I
exciting.
feel honored. I feel very honored. Thank you.
The first time that we are meeting. So this is
Yes,
like,
I
there's
know.
no better time for us to have our initial conversation than on this podcast. I'm so
it's perfect. It's organic. I love it. It's great.
Yes.
It's actually like so up your alley, Luce. You were like a master like networker or conversationalist, and Sarah's like the best conversationalist. So it's really great. Okay, so I'm gonna give
So
a little
pumped.
background because Sarah is a friend of mine for our listeners. I know Sarah as Sarah, but she's also Dr. Sarah Pollock and lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she's an OBGYN, which I'm gonna have you kind of say more about that because I know you more as like friend Sarah.
Yes.
But
Well, that's how we met. Right.
Yes. I used to live in Charlotte, which I think we know now. And I dream of good neighbors. And I moved across the street from
So nice.
Sarah, and she is the neighbor that you want. Then neighbor turned friend. But it was great. Like I could just like open my door and the girls could run across the street and play.
Yeah.
I knocked on her door once.
It was just like a perfect,
full pajamas for an egg because I was baking. I mean, just like, but then what's so
you
funny
really
about
you cannot pick your neighbors.
It's hard,
No.
and and that house is there, and it's not the same.
No, it's really not. And you were like, and then when it was like you're such a nice person, and then you have kids our age.
I know. Then what's similar age kids was
So ironic about this is I moved to this house, my second go in Charlotte, which is another story. And my friend sent me a screenshot of an invite that you had sent her and was like, this is across the street from you. This is like one of my favorite OBGYNs. And I'm like, oh, because I was past my birthing. So she's also like a very wonderful doctor, but a friend doctor too, that is never shy to answer any question you ever have for her. She's so
I have
open.
your number now. And this is
great.
So that's the good news for me, less good for you.
So she just was when we were thinking about guests, I was like, you are such a good hang. You're so good at conversations. You're so real, which I love. But then we also obviously can bond over motherhood. And you're like OBGYN, which I feel like we have some fun questions that way too. So I don't know. I feel like you're just
always
like
fun questions. Yeah.
You're the perfect first guest, in my opinion.
Well,
so
thank you.
So
I feel
much
honored.
For coming.
It's so wonderful. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I feel like you wear multiple hats with being an OBGYN recently. So do you want to maybe just say that?
Sure.
So everybody knows.
Because
there's obviously, we all know what OBGYN is, but I think you wear multiple hats.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So I've been in Charlotte since residency. I'm 7 years out. So I am I'm a general, I still say just, I mean, we always use the just word. But I'm a general OBGYN, and then I'm the medical director of my practice for the last 2 years, and then I've been in this new role for about a year where I am the medical director of physician APP well-being. So I take care of the well-being essentially for the North Carolina, Georgia physicians and nurse practitioners and nurse midwives, and there's about 12,000 of us or so that I'm having to wear that hat for, which is wonderful, but it's a lot. So I've carved out this really nice admin role, which allows a lot of flexibility, which we'll talk about, I'm sure. And so I'm taking full-time call. I'm in the clinic half-time, and then I have an admin half-time. So it's just a little bit of a new, but it's a lot. The flexibility that I've gained with this new role has just been lovely with this work-life integration.
I know. I'm already loving that.
Yes. Yeah.
I loved that text when you said
It's
work-life
the new one.
integration. It's so good because
Yeah.
obviously balance is out, integration is
It's
in, and I like
yeah,
it.
it's this more like, yeah, I feel like we're just trying to, every day will be a little different, and that's how I like it.
Okay, I just have to ask one clarifying question about all of those hats that you wear.
Yeah.
How does one serve as a resource for
Yeah.
12,000
It's a
people?
yes. It's a so our hospital system, we have this like well-being initiative. It's called Best Place to Care. And so essentially like I have a great task force and team, and I have like an administrative diet. It's a whole bunch of people on my team. But I'm basically like the big connection point between the frontline physician and then the leadership at large. I'm just this big sort of connector, and we're trying to break down silos, and it's a work in progress, and it's been
Yeah,
very exciting, and
that's
but it
cool.
is just different. Yeah. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty
Amazing.
cool.
Also have 2 children, what, a 5 and a
I've 2
2-year-old now?
yes, I'm a
Is
mother.
Smith
Yeah, yeah.
2?
Kid, this is 3. I
Smith is
know.
3.
And,
Oh my
he is and Ka we've had a whirlwind of a day. Kate is 6, and she broke her arm today.
god.
Which is fine. She's fine. She's fine. She, like, was playing in the thing, and it's just like this little, like she'll need a full cast of her arm. She's getting that tomorrow. And the nice thing that I was already done with clinic, and then I got the phone call from the nurse, and we just head to the urgent care with a nanny, and
Oh my
she's
gosh.
I know.
And
So,
you're
but she's
still here. I
yeah,
was
well,
about to
she
complain that we came straight from a baseball game,
no,
and
no,
I'm
no.
not gonna do that.
She's been dancing to K-pop Demon Hunters, and she's
Oh my god.
doing fine.
The best.
I'm most curious about a topic we've talked about a lot around like the best time to have a kid. And I'm
Yeah,
so curious from
it's
your perspective. I mean, as an
hard.
OB, but
Yeah.
also just like as a mother, how you thought about managing. I've got med school and then residency,
Mhm.
and I have all these ambitions and I want to do all
Yeah.
these things. Like, how did you think about the right time? Or is that not how you framed it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think part of that is when I met my husband because we met in residency as an intern, and I think it's very, it's hard because we were just getting to know each other through this like time when I'm like we met after I did a whole night shift, like we met on night float, and then we had breakfast date, and I was like, this is it, or I mean, this is just how it is. And he leaned in and it was great. And then history. But there's really no great time. I've had friends that had babies in residency and med school. The challenge with medical training is that there's just no maternity leave which is terrible. I mean, if
Like,
you take
literally none? Or
we have
like,
6 weeks. It's like
oh,
6 weeks, and,
okay.
if you have 2 we had a resident that had 2 kids in residency, and she had to extend her residency because it's like you need a certain amount of hours to train to be a competent and, like, a competent physician, but then and there's a lot of that's being going on. There's a lot of work to be done, a lot of opportunities, and that's not my space, but it is a space that, like, just, that we need to like lean into as a medical community, as leaders and all the things. Um, so that's always challenging to have a baby in residency because there's not a lot of like pumping help. There's not a, I mean, it depends on your leadership team. Like I had friends that when they trained, like no one pumped, and it was like you pump later, and it's actually a medical necessity to pump. Like you could get mastitis, you can get like
And
sick,
no one
and
knows that better than you. So that's
right, and it's like, and then, it's hard as like, it's a lot with that. And then, we just decided as soon as we finished residency because we wanted to travel a little bit after training, just like delayed gratification is just the name of the game
yeah.
with us. And, so we did a big trip, and then we just started trying, and I think it was just like, it's what it is. Ending being an attending was like 30, I think it was 32 or so. And, fertility declines as we age. 32 is kind of that number, and then 35, and then so on. And so you always have that number in the back of your head 'cause you're counseling patients.
Is
Women
32
physicians,
the peak? Is that how
well,
you?
it's sort of like it declines slightly at 32 and then 35, and like it just keeps going down. And then you sort of like there's this big like back and forth of as your eggs age, so does like your risk of miscarriage and everything else. So you sort of it's a hard one. But at the same time, like you also in the back of your brain like have this like, well, I'm putting this burden on my partners because I'm coming out of call, but we have a very supportive group, which was very helpful, and like my second kid, I was out or like one of my partners was out, we came back a week later and then she was out and then a week later. So it was actually like, it was like the year of our OB's clinic babies.
Oh
Like
my
it was kind of
gosh.
fun. We all deliver each other's babies too, which is just really
That's
fun.
so
And
fun.
yeah, so we have a great time, but it's a challenging one. And women physicians have the highest rate of infertility of like other, like, it's just, it's instead of
Wow.
1 in 10, we're 1 in 4. Um, just because we
Why?
delay fertility longer. We delay fertility longer than most more
Oh my
like a lot
gosh.
of
What an
careers.
insane fact. That is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
And no,
interesting.
no pressure, and so I'm encouraging. I have a lot of like med school patients and a lot of residency patients, and our practice or like our enterprise, they give money for fertility purposes. And so I'm encouraging all of them, like, you've been here for a year, now you get to tap into your benefits. Like, please freeze your eggs. Like, just
Okay.
freeze your
Yeah.
eggs,
Hmm.
and it's a benefit that I can now like encourage because no one really talked about that in training. But
Oh my
That I was
gosh.
about
That
to
is
freeze your
say,
eggs. Yeah.
yeah, that was going to be one of my questions later too, but also just going back to, is this a conversation that you were always having in your like education and med school and all that? Was it just like a lot of chatter,
No.
like, when are you going to? When are you going to? What's the right time? Or
Yeah.
was no?
Yeah, no, it's sort of this like kind of, it's not taboo in a way, but it is something that it's not talked on as more than it should. I feel like it's an opportunity as a medical community to really like with and now that I'm like on the other side and I have multiple friends that went through infertility stuff and that were physicians. And so now like any med student, I'm like, hi, we're gonna have a chat. And like, but that's, I mean, and
Yeah.
I can't touch all of them, but I just,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit of my mission
Well,
to
welcome to my office. When are you
yeah,
planning to have a baby?
hi. I know. What are your fertility goals? And so we're just like kids, no kids, and and all that. And so then we talk about goal setting, and it's just a different part of the annual exam.
And I have to ask you, when you are counseling your patients and I mean, I was just a nut when I was pregnant. I
Yeah.
had every
Yeah.
question.
We all are. Our brain just like
I mean, everything that possibly could have gone wrong all the
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
W- Do you feel that same? Are you the same when you're pregnant, or you're like, no, I
It's a
like logically know what's going on?
well, your like emotional brain and your logical brain are like completely separate whenever you're pregnant. And even like a
Yeah.
mom stuff too. Like there's just many things where you're just like, my logical brain says that this is fine, but like why am I disaster planning, whatever this is?
Yeah.
Um So yes and no. Like there are things where I'm like, I know this is normal and this and that. And then there's things where you just see like disasters all the time. And you just have weird outcomes and poor outcomes and all these things. And I remember like being in delivery, I was like third trimester and there was just this, big perineal laceration and I was like, I want a primary C-section right now. Thank you so much. And that's like not a reasonable thing to like think about. Yes and no. I think that's the answer to your question.
Okay, so going off
Interesting.
of that catch up of like background in kids, I also, from what I know about you and what we talk about on this podcast, I hate the word balance as well. I've learned to figure out like what makes my personal family system
Hmm.
work. For example, we had to get an au pair because Kyle worked too much. Or I've figured that out right now for the stage. It'll change as our kids get older. And I feel like you kind of have a pretty good system in place to allow you to have such crazy work hours and times. So
Yeah.
how have you done that with daycare or childcare and your work and your husband's schedule? And like, how has that evolved and how
All
is that
things. Yeah.
working? Yeah.
So the biggest thing with our household is that one of us has to be more flexible, and unfortunately, it's my husband. And so I think that is, and he's leans into it. He's really chill about it. I think we are very lucky to have a great nanny. So Ashley. I think Ashley was
Yeah.
here when you were here.
Yeah. She's great.
She's amazing, and we've had her since I had her like right before I went on maternity leave with Smith. And so we've had her for almost 4 years, which is incredible. And my family is here, and they're in their 70s, and so there is a little bit of a challenge with that, just age, but they lean in as much as they can. They also are traveling and they have their own lives too. So I don't want to, monopolize some of that, but they've been fantastic. I've met mom friend who has kids the same age as Kate. They were in the same school, and Smith and her youngest delivered her, and so it was just really
That's cute.
exciting. And like today when Kate broke her arm, like I met our nanny at the urgent care, and then like Caitlin picked up Smith, and so it's just like everyone, we just have this little pod of things, and it's just been really lovely. And I think you just have to find your village, which, historically was a lot of your neighbors and family, and now it's a little bit less of that, but you just
Oh my
find what
gosh,
works.
I would love to just do a deep dive on that, but I don't think we have the time tonight.
There's a
I
lot, I
know.
know.
But
Yeah.
it is a very different culture than it was, like where
Mhm.
neighbors like picked up the pieces on a lot of things, and
Mhm.
it, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
think
And
it's
multi-generational families, like they used to live
yes,
together, and
such a good
it
point.
is
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
You're so chill. Like,
debatable.
every time I see you, we joked about this on one podcast. Lucy was like, "I just wanna meet one of those friends that's, like, chill when things are going awry in the morning and nobody's getting out the door," and, like, you are
So
that to
I
me,
can
like
Yeah.
tell
like,
Dr.
she's
Yeah.
just
Pollock's got it.
I
so
don't know.
chill,
I mean,
but
it's definitely like it ebbs and flows for sure. Like
But,
it
like,
is.
how do
Yeah.
you deal with I mean, it's just a personality trait. I struggle so much with asking for help. So, all those people that you said are exactly what we need. Like, I would give anything to have
Yeah.
Lucy next door to be like, "Hey, take my kids." So, has it become more natural for you to be able to ask for help as often as
No.
you're, like, on call, going to work? Or, like, do you still
Yeah.
do overnights? Like, are you still
I
gone
do.
sometimes? Yeah.
Yeah. So we do 12s during the week and then 24s on the weekend. So like for instance, this Saturday I'm doing a 24. Um I think it is I'm getting more comfortable with it as I get further into this like motherhood journey, because you can't do it all by yourself. And I think when with my first, I struggled a lot with Kate. I struggled a lot with, like, asking for help, and I had some, like, postpartum depression and was really just, like, because when you're high functioning and you're doing you're, like, used to this checklist and I can do all these
Mhm.
things, and then you, like, are you're, like, sitting and doing nothing all day when really you're keeping a human alive, but it feels like that whole checklist of, like, your all the stuff just is it's just a different, like, it's a mind reset. Um so I feel like it's easier as I'm leaning into that a little more. And I think when you meet someone who's like literally like, I will do this for you, and I've done stuff for
Yeah.
her, and so it just
Yeah.
feels like very balanced.
Yeah.
It's always a challenge. I'm not that great at it, but I'm getting better because you just I don't have a choice. Like there's no way to
Yeah.
do it all.
Yeah.
I was really curious to ask you about this when we were trying to even just schedule this, because your schedule, even just like when you were like, I could do this, but I'm on call, so I don't really
Yeah,
know.
I
could be
had to
here
And
read
again.
that like 7 times. I was like, "When
I
I
is
know.
she
know, but it was
available?"
just interesting because I reflected on it and I was like, wow, I don't think that my personality could deal with the
Different.
unknowns.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
unknowns of, because
Yeah.
we just talked about this on last week's podcast about
Hmm.
mom guilt. And
Yeah.
I think when I'm like, know for a fact I'm going to miss something, I can like take it, put
Yeah.
it in my mom guilt pile and move on.
Yeah.
I think when things are like last minute, or, I'm getting a call during XYZ thing and now I'm not present, and I'm, all the things that moms are dealing with, and from a working mom scenario, things I get pulled into last minute that I didn't expect to. I'm
Yeah.
just curious, like, how you manage the unknowns of that. And we are going to always ask every guest, like, do you experience like mom guilt in the
Yeah.
in the traditional sense of how it's been
Right.
defined?
Yeah, I think so I sort of frame it in my brain as like these like pockets of time. So like my Tuesdays are my admin days. And so I know that like that day will be a little bit more flexible. I know that like I have meetings scheduled and I can probably have like some stuff in there, but like I can bike Kate to school and I can do these like little things that are flexible. And then when I'm in clinic, I'm just in clinic. And so those are
Yeah.
like I have set days when I'm in clinic, and then call for us, which is a little different than some other practices, but like I'm in house. So like we're on call, but like I show up at 8 a.m. and I'm there till 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. the next day. And like if I'm lucky, I can pop out and meet, Justin and the kids for, a lunch around the corner. I sort of have a low expectation that I'm going to be able to do something else. And I'm grateful if I am, but like, I have the expectation that it's just going to be kind of whatever rolls in will roll in. And I know there will be at least 3 to 9, 10 laborers, and we'll just roll with it. I might not sleep. I probably won't. And then I just have and our post call day is off. So like the next day I get to nap and stuff like that. But, so I sort of like compartmentalize things in a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. I even just
'Cause
like
otherwise,
the idea of low expectations, to be
yeah,
honest.
I mean, and I'm
I
happy.
like
Yeah,
that.
no, and if you set the bar low, you'll never. And that's how we do when we travel. I'm like, the bar is so low that like I will. We used to have these like big lofty goals with our first, and then you get humbled. Oh, so humbled.
I tell Lucy this all the time. She's like so intentional about her mom time. And I feel like you're
Hmm.
like that too. The few
Yeah,
times that I was able to go get a glass of wine, speaking of mom friends, Sarah was one of the ones that I would get glass of wines with Lucy. But it was like, I love it. But we were scheduling like 3 months out on your calendar because
yeah,
your calendar is so
I know.
wild. When you are with your kids, from what I observe, which I think is helps with the mom guilt if you have it, which I think you
Yeah,
didn't really say
I
yet. So I'm
do.
still
Yeah,
interested what you had. But
yeah,
you're like doing the what trick or treat, and you're in the costumes with your kids, and you're biking them to school, or you're like so intentional about their
yeah.
birthday parties. So again, I hate the thing of saying do it at all, but it is really amazing because I feel like when I see you, you're just like momming it hard. And that's why I'm like,
Well, yeah, and that's the
so
thing. That's like I'll
incredible.
lean in, and I'm missing, and that's the thing. Like I know that I'll miss like a handful of these things, but like I can also, it helps me the boss a little bit too. So like I do like make sure like I block like certain times of my schedule, and I asked the school. I'm like, I need well in advance. Like they texted me like, can you pitch in for this like thing last minute? And I was like, I have surgery, so like that's not what I can do. But if you tell me like 2 months in advance, I will make things happen. But I know at the end of the day, like I'm gonna miss some things. And I'm like Kate has a soccer game like the last time I was on call, and we FaceTimed a lot, and I could just tell like it just wasn't the same. But I mean, it's every weekend, and so there'll be times where I just will not. And so that part sucks. I mean, that's that, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, and that's where like I don't do a lot of traveling or things like that. But I also, because I know Lucy, you travel a lot. It sounds
Mhm.
like from what I've
Mhm.
just listened to the podcast. But so I think it's similar but different, and there'll be times where I just miss it. And she knows. I mean, I FaceTime her and I do, and we chat about it later, and she understands that like. But she'll be like, "Mommy cut someone out of someone's belly." And I'm like, "Well, that's not really, can we just not be that graphic?" Sure. So she knows what I'm doing.
Funny that you say that because
Yeah.
my kids found my C-section scar. I finally showed it to them.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What is that?" Because
What's
it
going
was
on here?
not well done. Sarah, I wish you had done it
Oh,
because it
bummed.
was not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And they're like, I was like, "Well, that's where they pulled you out of my belly."
Mhm. Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, "What?"
I know.
They're like, "How did I
She
come out of there?" And I'm
What's
like, "I don't
happening?
know.
Just it
I'm not
happens.
sure."
They push and they pull. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I know. Kate has like classmates that I've delivered, and which is really fun. So no, she's like, "Yeah, my mom cut you out of your mom." I'm like, "Can you just not do that? Like, cut it out." Uh,
Great party trick.
It's a really good party
but
trick.
yeah,
That's
What
amazing.
but yes,
about
mom guilt is for sure there.
Okay, good. That's good to know because Sam doesn't
Yeah,
really struggle with it. So I'm always glad to hear that other people do.
it's always something
thinking
though.
so much about that lately of being like, "Oh gosh, did I say too much?" Because like, I just don't really have it. I
Yeah.
don't
Well, it's
have it.
okay,
But
and
but
I feel like it's
scenarios are very different.
yeah,
I'm just not gone a lot. Like, you guys are
yeah,
gone a lot, and so the little bit that
yeah,
I get to be gone is I'm choosing, and so I just like, I've been with my kids for over 14 hours today. Like, I'm over it,
yeah,
Like,
And
yeah,
my favorite thing, Sarah, you were on here when Sam mentioned this. Sam was like, "I think I'm about to have a heart failure because
yeah.
of what it took to get me on this podcast tonight."
Mhm,
She's like,
mhm.
"There is a teenager out there sitting on
Sitting
my
on my
Oh my
couch
couch.
just
gosh,
to make sure
Yep.
that my
just to
kids don't
be,
come in here."
yeah,
Because Kyle's out of town, and I know my kids, and they'll just
right,
sense that mom can't have yep, and they'll come
yeah.
out, which
Well, and I'm so the one challenge with being remote on or being admin on Tuesdays is that like they know that I'm in in the office, and so like every once in a while, and it's cute, and they'll pop up, and all of a sudden they'll have like a little cute little face up there. I'm like, I need to focus, guys. I'm trying to like present to these like bigwigs.
You
Just
got
like stop
12,000 people you're nurturing right now.
oh, that was
nurturing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do
Oh,
it. Okay,
yeah.
I'm curious. I know Sam has like a fun list of like ratings
Yeah.
here, but before we go into that, I wanted to ask, because I love this question for people. What are like your non-negotiables in the week for yourself? Like, what do you
Yeah.
feel like you need to make sure you are like whole as a
Yeah.
person?
Yes. And this is new. So I am doing a lot more because I'm in charge of well-being. I'm trying to do a lot more like mindfulness and journaling and just things like of that. And so I'm not great at it, but this is my newer non-negotiable is to like take some time to like either I don't want to say meditate, that's like kind of cheesy, but I know it's like real. But just to like is it I'm trying to lean into it. I
Feel about
really
it,
am.
so I'm glad you articulated it that way.
Yeah, you're
But
really selling meditation.
It's great. No, I know that there's data around it and I know it's helpful and like I'm taking this like physician like specific well-being and it's like you can dance to meditate, you can walk and the meditative walk is more my style. But just to like sit for like 5 minutes and like think about like and it's usually not in the morning. I try to have it in the morning, but I need 5 minutes of just like thinking through like how's my day been going, and that's going to get better. But other thing is I have to have like a cup of coffee or I'm just non-functional and then
And what's the order? Just coffee.
yeah, so it is a cold brew and then I put some cold foam on top.
Yeah.
You
and
have to like
here's
get
my
the right.
question as a doctor, because I would love your feedback on this. Everything I see is like the worst thing you can do for your body is
I
drink a
know
cup of coffee the minute you
in
get
the
up.
morning. Yeah,
And literally,
That's all
I
I
am
can
like,
do.
it's like jet fuel for me.
I
It's
can't. I
like
know.
I go immediately to the coffee pot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's data around that. I don't care because
Okay,
I just
great. Same.
like I need it.
Same. And you're a doctor. So
Yeah.
Same.
There's just things where
done.
I'm like, this is a vice and this is gonna be fine. Like there are worse things, like
I
truly,
agree.
you know,
I
She's
and
agree.
I'm
gonna be
gonna be fine.
we'll sleep in our dead resident doctor. We're just gonna like
Yeah.
manifest
I
it.
know. Oh my God.
100%. You're going to be on
The
call
name of
for
the
us.
name of this podcast is like to a T. I mean, just so I know this kills you guys. Guys, I'd heard that you guys were talking about like one of the episodes were like our kids are not in our bed and da da da. Da. And I know Sam, I told you
Sarah,
this,
this is
but
this we're not letting you go without you explaining your scenario because it's
No,
my favorite. So
the
you led right
world,
into my next question.
the
so
world
bad.
needs to know. Sam told me this fact while I was mowing the lawn the other night,
It
and I
was
about screamed.
Yeah.
and this is what we need, Sarah. We need more people not like us that are real.
This
That
is
are
non-traditional. Okay.
It's
This is like
non-traditional, so let's hear it.
yeah.
yeah. Let's give us your
Um,
sleep when we're dead. Quick story of how
Sleep
it's
when I
evolved.
dead. Yeah. So I'm a pushover when it comes to like a lot of my kids stuff. And I also just like I love sleep and I never get it. I mean, I'm like and my friends are like, I overnight call, I'll have like I slept for 4 hours. I'm ready to go. And they're like, what is like, can you take a nap? I was like, I just took 2 cold brews. We're just cruising. I'll be fine. Like I gotta do stuff. Um not doctor, like don't take that advice. That's not good medicine. But
That's
do as I
mom
say, nothing's
advice.
good. Anyways,
That's mom
that's
advice.
mom advice, not doctor advice, right? Yeah.
Get the cold brew. Yeah.
So, yeah. So then, at some point, Kate was in our bed, Smith was still in the crib, and we're like, okay, well, this is sweet. And like, she'll like say things where she's like, Mama, I just feel so safe with you. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
okay, so sweet.
you're
Just like
staying.
pulling on the heartstrings, right? And then it was like she got sick one night, and then you know how it just evolves. It just goes. And then at some point, Smith became aware that there was another person in the bed. And we're like, okay. So then it just became this thing. And I also, like, I love, like, to have pillows around me. Like, I'm just like a pillow person, side sleeper, back. I just all the things. So at some point, it became very clear that our kids are never leaving our bed and they're so sweaty and they are so like sideways up and down. So we decided to lean in. We're just leaning in and we got
Lean
two
in.
queen leaning in. We got 2 queen beds and we pushed them together because that's bigger than an Alaskan king or we did all the math. Like we've done all we've done the okay, an Alaskan king is
good.
this,
Oh
a
my
California king is
gosh.
this. Yeah, and the sheets are cheaper this way. So we put 2 queens
Love
together.
that.
We have a connector. We have like separate, and so it's like pillow person, pillow person, pillow person, pillow person. It's all the way across. And if they sit sideways, it's 10 feet across. It is absurd.
Oh my
But
gosh.
bedtime is like 20 minutes now. I mean, we just we read a book, we do the thing, we listen with Moshi, which is this meditative app for kids, sort of. It's a song. It's like they talk about unicorns and I don't know, whatever it is,
Sounds
and
nice.
puts them to sleep. I mean, it's lovely.
I could have a whole
Nights.
episode on this.
Yeah,
But I need some quick details. When do you go to bed? Do they wake up?
great question.
When do you wake
Yeah.
up? Do they wake up? Like, is there
So
peeing
they
in
go
the
to
middle of the night? What are
No, so yeah, they void before bed. And they're usually asleep by 7:30. And so
okay?
Justin's I know. And then they wake so Smith wakes up at 4:35 just because he's like, "Hi, mama." He's on my face. "I missed you,
No.
mama." And I'm like, you can't miss me. You're in
I'm
my
next to you.
skin. You're inside my body. If he could crawl back inside my womb, he would.
Yeah.
He's just the
He's
sweetest
like,
boy.
Mom, if you can make this happen, I know if
I-
anyone could do
You
it, it'd
can
be
do
you.
it.
You could do it. I'm here. I miss you, mama.
Mhm.
So sweet. Just the sweetest. And then but he wakes up really early. Kate now sleeps in till 6:30 or so. But we put them down. I'm usually the one that puts them down because I just, I'm the mom guilt. I'm missing them all day, all those things. And it's pretty easy. And then we go downstairs and we hang out for 2 hours and have a glass of wine or watch Netflix, or we are now into Legos and things. So yeah.
You
Now,
adult Lego?
Wait, we got hold on.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell. We have these Lego. This is our new Lego up here.
Actually I could see
Yeah.
myself doing that after now Henry has gotten into Legos. It's actually
Yeah,
quite gratifying and pretty
it
fun
is. Yeah,
and nice
yeah.
to not be on your phone.
Yes, I think doom scrolling is
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away.
It's either that or I'm gonna do one of those paint by watercolor things, and I'm such a bad
Yes,
artist. I'll hate
yes,
myself
but you
after.
just need a
So
little bit of that. Yeah,
yeah.
and I've been just leaning into weird hobbies. So
But Sarah,
it's great.
at 4:30 or 5,
Yeah,
we're up.
we're
Smith's up.
Smith's just, and he is a light switch. It's not just a, "Hey mama, he's just like, "Hi, let's go, let's do this." And I'm like, "All right, I guess we're doing this." So then
Oh
we
my
go
gosh.
and I start, my day, we take a shower, start making a coffee. Or Kate and Justin will sleep a little bit. We're just rolling.
4:30 or 5. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna feel
I
I'm
know.
gonna feel
And then
good tomorrow when I see my kids at 6.
I used to work out in the morning, I used to be a 5:30er,
Yeah.
burn boot camp kind of person. And that has not been the case
Tough.
recently because he's just like, "Hey, I'm coming with you." And I'm like, "There's no child watch at 5:30." So we're
Can
just
you
gonna.
imagine Sam and I have had many, many,
So
many
there's a
sleepovers over the
trade-off. Yeah.
years, and I'm just trying to imagine myself because I don't ever
Yeah.
stop wiggling and moving
Sarah,
and
she's the
tossing
most
and
restless sleeper you'll ever experience in your life. It was
Great.
so jolting the
"Hi."
first time
Yeah.
and it's just, and it's like a little
How does
rat.
anybody
It's
else sleep
so
in the bed? Yeah.
fast. It's quick and it's fast and it's aggressive and she's so
I'll
little
get up
and
and I'll change my clothes a couple
oh my
times because
gosh,
things
it's
aren't cool enough. The neckline's
Yeah.
too high.
yeah.
So no
Yeah.
one would ever be asleep is
No.
essentially.
No. Yeah.
Right.
You're sharing that because you're
Mhm.
owning it and it's your
Yeah.
journey and I can't even imagine it.
I know.
So
I love it. I just love that
Fun.
you own it too. It's my
I
favorite
do
thing. But
too.
I'm so glad you said that, not me. Well, I know you're an open book, but I was like, we will
Yeah.
not let you go without discussing
We are
the
talking about
No,
this.
I
differences
had to
of
I had to know the details. So
100%.
I'm grateful.
100%. Okay, should we do my fun questions?
Yes.
I love
And
it.
And then we
the
can-
framing of this, okay, for those of you who haven't seen it, but on social, there's these little videos going around right now, normally with dermatologists. So we're
Yeah.
really getting you,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
rank this thing from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice. Okay. Got
is
it.
And
one
I also,
bad, Sam, and 10
0
is
is
good?
no importance, 10 is importance. And I really wish we could do an explicit one because Sarah is the doctor that you could ask the
Yeah.
most raunchy questions.
had- Yeah.
she's
We're going to keep it
actually-
clean.
I'm
Yeah.
just
What-
I'm gonna keep it clean because I have all 3 girls. I'm gonna say something I never knew until Sarah was my friend. I did not know that it was a thing that little girls would actually
Mhm.
put stuff up there
Yeah.
because they're playing and they don't know that it's bad
Yeah.
or
And
wrong.
there's
They're just
it's hide and seek. Yeah.
it's hiding.
oh,
So they're just
Yeah.
I noticed, and I did not know that until I met her, and now I have 3 girls. And
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense because one of my daughters, which I guess I shouldn't say,
I mean, it's you
has
put up
no-
your nose, you put it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you put up your nose. One of my
Totally.
daughters has no concept of things down there, and my other one is very, very interested. And Sarah's always in my head of me being like, is she going to put something in there? So
Mhm.
anyway, she's again like you can ask her anything. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to do a few different types like pregnancy. I only have one postpartum question. And then, Sarah, this thing called perimenopause. I mean,
It's a thing. It's a
I
thing.
don't
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm approaching this. I also my little quick thing on that, I know zero about it, but the things that I do
And we
know,
don't talk about it, which is, that's
but
the
all
part
these
that's hard.
people posting symptoms, I'm like, I have
I
3
was
children.
convinced.
I don't
Mhm.
sleep. I don't
Yeah.
probably drink enough water. I have all these symptoms all the time. So how am I
Yeah.
supposed to know? So anyway, that's
And
again a
it's
whole
like,
nother
is it
topic.
toddlers? It's a conversation I have often in my clinic. It's like, is it toddlers or is it perimenopause? Is it my
Yeah.
kids or is it,
Is
Is
it
it
my
my
partner?
stress? Is it
is it
Yeah.
stress?
perimenopause?
Is it,
Is
yeah.
it my,
It could
That's
is it
what
be.
my
my OB
anxiety?
basically told me
It
2
could
months
be.
ago because I told
Yeah.
Sam, I'm like, I'm in it. I'm
Mhm.
here.
Could be.
And so I went and got every test done under the sun, and they were like,
It's
you might
normal.
just be stressed. Have you tried a
Yeah.
sleeping pill?
Yeah. Is work okay? You're like, not some
I
days.
know
Yeah.
I am pretty stressed. Yeah, you're right. I started a podcast about how little I sleep.
Yeah. And
So
then,
Oh my God. Okay. So 0, not really important. 10, important.
okay.
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 So this is pregnancy. Nutrition while you're trying to conceive.
I would say, like 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. I think it's important to like come into it being mindful about what you're putting into your body, but I also know that like it's kind of a wash sometimes. Sometimes I mean, I got pregnant on New Year's Eve, sort of. You know what I mean?
Besides folate and iron, does it really matter
Yeah,
the brand of your prenatal?
it doesn't. No, and it's folic acid, which is a little
Sorry,
bit of a
I should say
yeah.
0
No,
out
but
of 10. So 0
oh,
out of
sorry.
10, what's the importance of the brand? I didn't ask that. Importance of the brand. So
Like
besides folate and iron,
2. Yeah,
2.
2. Yeah,
That's great.
I know. Don't
I
spend
treat
all your
this.
money on the fancy stuff.
Here comes Women's One a Day for an ad spot.
Truly, I know. I loved
Is
my.
that the one you
It was
recommend, Sarah? Because that's the one that they recommended to
so.
me.
I use Nature's Made, honestly, because it was easy to
Oh,
find.
okay.
But like, I had a patient today who's just like, I'm on this like, I've never even heard of it. And it was like, she's like, it's 8 pills a day, and I was like, stop.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah,
Oh my
no.
I'm okay.
gosh.
I
This-
threw this one on for me. 0 out of 10 importance. Doulas.
Okay. I think a good doula is like a 9. If they're obstructive, it's a 0 for me.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I think a good advocate for a patient is important.
Mhm.
But one that's like vaginal delivery or nothing is like a negative 100 for me. But like if they're just like, I want you to have a good experience and I want you to be empowered in your body, then 100 times great.
Postpartum pelvic floor therapy.
Ooh, it's 9 or 10. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I think
Okay.
everyone can
Same.
benefit from 1 or 2 sessions, you know?
Yeah, I
Even
did.
if you had but not if you had a C-section though, right?
I mean, it kind of depends on, how big your baby was, how many you've had. I still find that some patients, even with C-sections, like we have to separate your ab muscles
I
to,
know.
and so I think less of like, so the pelvic floor is yeah, right. The pelvic floor is connected to your rectus muscles. And so I think less of like the pelvic floor itself, but more of like core
Yeah.
engagement, I think is helpful too. So I think for both either way, but not like less for like stress incontinence and more for core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perimenopause. Why
Yeah.
do I need nothing to worry about? Okay, more like in prep for it, I think.
Mhm.
This walking with a weighted vest.
Okay, so here's where this comes in. I think if you are a menstruating female who is having, if you like or have a well balanced diet, the biggest thing is our bones. We're at risk for osteoporosis, but when you have estrogen, like because you're menstruating and all these things, then like it's less important. But as we get to like with menopause and you have lower estrogen, you just need to lift heavy and lift often. So if you don't lift, then a weighted vest is a great way of getting that. But I don't think if you're still having a cycle, I don't feel as strongly about it. I mean, it's trendy, it's cool, and like I think it's not a bad idea. I just don't think it's like it's not a necessity.
So we're saying
maybe
5?
5.
So
5 is
yeah,
good.
okay, 5. Great.
Yeah, I'm like
But-
sorry, I gotta do
I love the
I need to
structure of this
focus.
game. So I'm like, we gotta
Yeah.
rate it.
What is the metric? Give me a score.
Okay,
5.
Okay, protein.
Well, yeah, like a 10. But like not as much as like
Yes.
I know.
We love
And
protein.
I love protein, and it's so hard to get sometimes, but I also feel like we go off this rail of like you have to have like 70 grams of protein and so much fiber, and like it's so good, but it's also just like sometimes it's hard to like get it, you know. But I do appreciate that there's more opportunities for protein.
Well,
So,
Sam, you
touched
need
it
to
on-
hear that because we
I know.
never are going to end up releasing the episode about how many beans you went through in that bean phase that you did. But I do
got
think
on
the
a
world
protein.
needs to know. She was on such a deep bean phase, and it was so troubling for me because she was trying to hit all these goals. But
Lucy, literally in this
Like bean
podcast that
salad
we're
or like baked beans or
no,
like
Sarah,
it
I
was
or
was
like
like
just beans.
I was well,
I
you follow
can't
my
even think
TikTok.
about it.
Lucy roasted me for like 10 minutes. She was like, I keep watching you make these bean recipes. Nobody's gonna eat that, Sam. They're not good. I was like, okay. Okay. Because
Beans.
I thought I needed fiber too. Okay, but
Yeah,
you
it's
kind
a
of
good
touched on
source.
it. But weightlifting, but you kind of said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think weightlifting as we get older is more important. So less I mean, cardio is important, but I think so like 8.
Okay.
And when we say older,
I
let's,
know.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so like
we're
40s.
tiptoeing. Oh, 40s.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in
So
2
yeah,
years, lift heavy, lift often. That's what I'm
lift
hearing.
heavy, heavy often. Exactly.
Okay.
And then because this is our podcast, what about sleep?
Oh my God. So important, but I suck at it. I mean, it's just it's a
I know.
10.
I
And
know.
I feel like the studies go all over the place about how much sleep we should be having and how much restorative sleep we should be having.
Ooh.
Um, but it's hard. With obstetrics, we've changed like, we're doing more shift work and a lot of practices are going into that. And I think about how like more beneficial that is for our longevity. And same with moms. Like it's like, how do we maximize? But also like I have so much to do. It's like, how do you do it all?
And what if
And
you have
nobody
kids
got
that
time
don't
for
sleep?
sleep.
So
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like Kate was always a crap sleeper and like Smith was better, but yeah, man.
Smith gets up at 4:30. So I'm just
That's
going to, I'm not
true.
trying to throw Smith under the bus. I don't know him, but I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah, I'm not gonna say
I'm
he's a good
not
sleeper
feeling
either.
that, Smith.
I say like he sleeps through the night, so I think that's where that's where my bar is, which is again low. The bar is low.
Lucy's firstborn got up between 4:30 and 5 for so many years. She's so
Oh.
angry about it still.
So
that
bitter
she's,
at every other
I
kid
know.
that did
she's
it.
taking it out.
Well,
on Smith.
I know.
And
Poor
I have
Smith. He doesn't
I
even
have
know
so
me.
many.
Okay, well, that's my game. Thank you so much.
This
I
was
love
like
that.
the most
was
fun
great.
thing ever. Thank
know,
you
I love
so
this.
much for coming on.
Yes, no, y'all are amazing, and I've really
Thank
enjoyed your
you.
podcast. I'm listening to it on the way to work, and it's just a nice little camaraderie.
Because you listen, then do you want to offer up something either that you're loving or something you did for yourself?
Yeah,
One or the other?
I am loving recently. I'm doing a lot more of like skin. I know you've talked about skincare in the past for you. I'm really liking I'm doing a whole, like, retinol, which is just a generic retinol, but, the Dew face stuff with, like then the Elemis is, like, this new, like, face wash thing.
Yes.
Not, like, washing my face, but I'm just, like it's Elemis. It smells
an amazing
great.
brand.
It's
So
so great,
good.
and it smells great, and
know
you don't have to, wash your face, you just, it's like a cleansing balm. Because I'm not
The
gonna wash my
best.
face. I will not wash my face.
Oh, you
But
won't
it's
wash
like
your face. What?
well,
Why?
it's a cleansing balm, so
Is
you
this
just like
a
so you wash
doctor's
your
advice?
no. So you're not like it's washing your face without like putting your face under the water. Yeah, I hate that
Oh.
feeling.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like this
yeah.
You're
weird
just like rubbing it off because I have that too.
yes,
I love that
yeah,
stuff.
it's so great. So that is my new like it's feel like and it's very luxurious and it just feels nice.
Well, thank you
This
so
was
much,
lovely.
so much,
Sarah.
Thanks,
Sarah.
So
guys. Thanks,
fun.
Lindsay. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, if y'all need
Thank
anything,
you.
obviously you have my number, so just let me know.
Amazing.
Yeah, we
All right.
do.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.